Hello. How is everybody? Good to see you guys. Let me say hi. Hey, Gretchen, good to see you. Nadine, my boo. Artemis Prime. Good to see you. Michelle, Becky B. Nature Rocks. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. Hey, Happy 4th. Good to see you. Hi. How are you? How is everyone? Good, I hope. So the sound is weird. All right, hold on. There, that should fix it. Better? Hold on, let me see. No. Hold on. Is it better? Okay, perfect. All right. I don't know why it does this sometimes. Like, I have it set to where my microphone is the default one. And for whatever reason, every so often, for no reason at all, or any reason I can figure out, hey, I'm Kayleen. Hey, Ro, good to see you. S. Hockett, hello. For some reason, no reason really, that I can figure out, on this one, which is Streamlabs, and also on StreamYard, it'll just reset it to the camera audio, even though I have it set as default. I don't really appreciate you questioning my choices in audio, Streamlabs and StreamYard. I picked what I picked, and I'm ready to stand 10 toes down on that selection. Thank you. Lord, hey Teacup, good to see you. Who else we got in here? I don't want to miss anybody. Hi, Teacup. Oh, yeah, I got Teacup. I got Becky P. All right, there we go. I got S. Hockett. Good to see you. All right, you guys. So, look, it's been wild on these streets, okay? It has been wild. We got satellites that are not even in orbit. They haven't been launched, but somehow, some way, they're taking pictures. It's a damn miracle. I don't know how that is. Then you have, hey, another Amy. Then and then the owner of the satellite company at somebody on the X and says, well, we hope we can help later, but at the end of the day, bruh, our satellites don't satellite. We haven't launched nothing. So there was that. Then there's some audio that's been sent around, and I listened to it, and it sounds like, I mean, you can hear, it's not like it's silent, but you can't like understand anything that's coming out. It's just all like, I don't know. It sounds kind of like whenever somebody has a bad signal or whatever, or their internet's not good when they're streaming. It sounds like that. So at this point, I'm just ready for the machines to take over. Hey, Charlie, good to see you, babe. It's been a minute. So there's that. So what I thought we could do tonight is just chill the fuck out. Okay? Like I just, let's have some fun. Let's go over some like crazy jail calls or something and talk, just have fun, like just lighten up. I mean, obviously, I know I cover true crime and it's always heavy and everything like that, but every once in a while you will get uh like a little, there's some humor, okay? So I'll find us something and we'll watch that. Now, there is one thing that I do want to show you because now it's been long enough, is the that last jail call between oh, what's his name? Jason and Benjamin, Ben Michael, Z, Brian. So yeah, we'll listen to that because it's been a minute. And hold on, let me fix this. We'll do that. But before we get started, there is one little tiny heavy thing that I have to talk about. And I'm just going to talk about it really quickly. And then we're going to move on because I don't really want to get heavy with you guys. Okay. So, hey, Shauna. I do have a little bit of a little emergency coming. I posted it on my members that came up. I posted it on my Patreon and I posted it on my community tab under the members. I know that let me just say this. It was unexpected. And I realize that it is not the internet's responsibility to help me because I have some kind of, because I have an emergency. I get that. And also, I think anybody that knows me knows that I would rather walk on my lips, either set, than ask for help. But desperate times call for desperate measures. So, and I know this is a hard time of year for everybody. This whole year financially has been messed up for everybody. Everybody is struggling. If you can, please help. If you can't, that's cool too. Send prayers, just well wishes. Whatever you can would be appreciated. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much. And that's it. Now let's get to having the fun because I don't want to get heavy with you guys. Like this was supposed to be, look, I really pride myself on being what I came to YouTube for. Okay. I came to YouTube to watch YouTube because I'm well aware of the reality of the world and where we live and all the things that are happening. And I cover true crime. So of course I'm even more well aware of tragedies and horrific cases and the details. So I came to YouTube because I needed a little bit of I wanted a distraction. And that is what I wanted to provide you guys. I never intended to come on YouTube and, burden you with like any of my problems or issues. Although I will say, if you guys have problems or issues, my email is open and you guys can come to me. But that's was never my intention. So with that being said, let's start with, hold on a minute. Let me find it. This one. Okay. So thing I'm going to share with you guys is yet another call between Z, Kimberly, the girls, the mods have dropped I don't like the girls, uh, sound like freaking Owens. The mods have dropped my, like Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. I need to get to Texas. So, that's what I'm asking for help for, is to get to Texas. So the first thing that I want to play for you guys is that call that I talked about the last time I played the calls between Jason Spiller and Ben Yamin, Ben Michael, Z, Brian, him. All right, I'll make this big and let me turn the closed captions on. Okay, so this one, let me close this window. This call is from November 9th of 2024. And I'm not 100% sure. I listened to this one, but I have to tell you guys, like it left my brain. I do not remember. It did not even like it normally stuff like this sticks, but it just went whatever it was, whatever they talked about went in one ear and right out the other. So I have no idea. And again, this is from Jay's channel. That's not how he's listed. It's hold on, let me make this smaller so I can remember, so I can tell you guys. It's The Shaming of Jay. That's his channel, and I'm gonna drop his link in the chat. Oops, no, I didn't want to put. Yeah, here we go. That's what I want to put. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're doing it. Now we're doing it. MK, your makeup looks fantastic. You always do an outstanding job. I really like your contour and highlights. That's my favorite part. You always do so good on that. So this is where the audio from today is going to come from. Let me go back over here because this is the one I want and share.
I don't get it either. What?
Bruh, hush. I'm not ready for you.
Thank you.
All right. Are we ready to hear it? Hey, Grandma Sherry, good to see you. All right. So let's get started and we'll have some fun. I was actually kind of thinking, and you guys let me know what you want if you're down for this, but it's been a really super duper long time since we have heard that Feeling the Fire call or podcast between Chad Daybell, Lori Daybell, and Melanie Gibb. Would you guys like to hear that again? Like talk a bunch of smack? Okay. I have to agree with T Kept Kraken and her assessment, who says, MK, I think some frosted tips would really make your eyes pop. I agree. Get some frosted tips. Yes. Okay. So while I'm playing this, I'm going to go get that real quick. All right, here we go.
Please remain on the line. Hold for acceptance.
I'll be right back.
This is a direct pay call. Charges for your call have been accepted.
I was attempting to come back around on that a different way. There's like, I wasn't back at Kuwani yet. I was at a level of them doing this beyond just. I was looking at through the eyes of Katie in the state, where it's like annoying. It's like annoying and dysfunctional. It's a filibustering distraction and just throwing debris around the court, you know. And she probably said it to you, and she said it to me pretty straightforwardly. It's not the facts on record. It's just a bunch of extra trash.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I see too. With all of these individuals, whatever, you know, I get it, but it's like, you know, I feel like I swear to you, I feel like I'm about to see. I feel like I'm about to see.
I mean, there's like a ninth level to this, which is like a whole different emanation of our communication here, which is like this, like the Matrix itself, where all these things just are piling in on you. The same things are piling in on you on different matters, and then like Dozier Cook is there, and it's like, why are you here? It's like, I heard it was a party. You know, it's like,
I know.
You see, this is hairdos done wrong. Okay, we've got the 2 strands of hair that just simply won't curl, and this is a wrong messy man bun. This is not the proper way to pull a man bun off, Z. But MK, you know what I was thinking would be good for your hairs? Remember when Joey Fatone had like the frosted tips like that? I think that's what you should do. I think you should bring back 2000 Joey Fatone. I do. I think that's what you should do. All right.
It's like, I know, I can't wait.
I called some friends. Like, what do you know about Kewanee? Well, many of my good friends are here, so I figured I would be too. We all have shared interests. I know.
Wait a minute. Many of your good friends are here. Many of your good friends are in the clink, here on Earth, here in spirit. Like, what are you talking about? Where? Where is here? I don't understand what they're talking about. Such gibberish. Also, it's a mugshot, bruh. Why are you smiling in your mugshot but also clenching your teeth at the same time? Just mean mug.
But outside of getting really dumb about it, like it's like this, it's like calling the clowns. Like it's the Matrix pig pile of it. Like all these, rubrics shifting around from these different, like, and this could all just be like wild imagination.
It is all just wild imagination. Whenever they talk about the case, they gotta like.
And I mean, but the reason that it stands that I'm
Thank
wrong
you, Kimberly. I appreciate that, babe. Thank you.
To not just poker face, but cozy and warmly lie. Like I'm his buddy. I'm just like, you want
Poker face, poker face. I'm just like Juan. Who's Juan? Hold on, let me rewind. Hold on. Who's Juan? Hold on. Do we have a new character unlocked? Let me look.
Wrong. It's because he's been so willing to not just poker face, but cozy and warmly lie. Like I'm his buddy. I'm just like, Kewanee's a good girl track, and they're really planning this whole immense.
And like, but I know I was told today for certain.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. It's just like a little booth of people waving, who have like a moment. they touch, like we touched Toto for 1 minute. It's like, who are you?
What?
I'm from Lollipop Land. But like no. In all seriousness, there's something like.
Oh God! See, this is where I get irritated with these two buffoons, and I'll say this, okay. Everybody knows that I like a good film reference, right? A good movie reference. Again, what is it with these damn cult leaders? They have the worst, they cannot use a movie reference correctly to save their life. Bruh, it's not Lollipop Land. It's Munchkin Land, to be first of all, and it's the Lollipop Guild. Even if I was starting to kind of come around to maybe this guy ain't so bad, which by the way I wasn't, this would have shifted me right back over. It would have tipped the needle to the other side of no me gusta.
There's like obviously like we could move to that level. There's like some other collusional stuff that's like far beyond any of these people's ability to process on this level. And hold on 1 second. I have to receive a bottle that amendment you made. Anyway,
well, I was told today that for sure.
Okay. I mean, what can she really say? Is she going to lie? Is she going to mention that at the end of the interaction? Is she going to talk about what a piece of shit lawbreaker she is? Is she going to talk about all the things that she did that are completely inappropriate in the legal society for somebody without a badge to do? Is she going to talk about her vigilante underwear?
What? What? Vigilante underwear? Where do you get vigilant? Wait a minute. Hold on. Back the milk truck up. Where do you get vigilante underwear from? Where do you buy that? Where do they sell that? Huh. I'm Googling. All right, here we go.
De-escalated.
Also, I have to point out that the whole one of their main tenets of their belief system is polygamy, which is in this instance one man, multiple women. But do you hear how angry they are at women? Why do you want extra women? You can't look. Why, why are you don't sound like you like women at all. Like you're very angry at women. So why do you want to have like a harem? Makes no damn sense.
Hold on, please.
Hold on, please.
Is she going to mention that? I had bigger and better words coming to me, but I'm listening, and then was just like, oh, and then she didn't want anything to do with her, and then decided of her own leading to leave with us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like man.
I'd like to help.
Just like
Next, this is what vigilante? I can't move past the vigilante underwear, right? Because then with Tony saying, where is it? Oh, I got clicked. There we go. Vigilante tips on a band name. And Tony says, sounds like a Marvel line of undies. Let me just say this. Like, what happens? If somebody's in need of rescuing and you're like, bruh, I can't help you today. I left my vigilante underwear at home. Like, what are they talking about? That's the funniest thing they said. And they were actually serious.
Goofball shit. This isn't this is Hannah Nimsey's death here, that we're dealing with. And this is like a bunch of goofballs like usual making chaos. This isn't.
Thank you. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like we have a dead child.
And you know what? It's spoken in word and handled in the most streamlined of facts.
What?
The problem with all of this
is
it's a problem morally, it's a problem in natural law, it's a problem in common law, and it's even a problem in the legal society at the premise and philosophy of law. You're removing volition from the individual.
Okay. We've listened to several calls between thing 1 and thing 2 over here. Okay. And the whole time I have been wondering, what is it that these two are mad about? Like, are they wanting Chloe Driver punished and put away in prison for the rest of her life? What is their end goal? Okay, I finally think that I got it. I guess their main issue is the defense that they're trying to mount, that they take umbrage and issue with the dysfunction and the huge age difference and all of the relationship dynamics being put on as part of Chloe's defense. That's what these two wet hens are upset about. What did I say? Did I say the Lollipop Guild or guilt? I thought I said guild. Hey, Julie. But yeah, that is not just, no, Grandma Sherry, we do not call Dolores Umbridge. No, do not call her. She's bad news bears. No, don't invoke that spirit. All right, here we go. That's what they're mad about. They're mad about what the defense is going to be, what her defense is going to be.
Whatever you're doing where you're saying, it was because of him, you are fundamentally removing the individual's volition. Okay.
No. I understand why you're upset or whatever, and you feel like this is not justice. And and let's be honest, a lot of people say whenever there is a not guilty by reason of insanity plea, that it's a way of not of the defendant not taking accountability for their actions. It's a way for it's a justification, it's an excuse. And that does happen. Yes, Letitia, we're looking at you. Sarah Boone, which she didn't really plead not guilty by reason of insanity, but you know, there are these, but at the end of the day, that's for a jury to decide. And the burden of proof for not guilty by reason of insanity is an extremely high burden of proof. So I understand their frustration and venting and all the things or whatever, although I'm not really happy with Ben Michaels' like woman voice when he's mocking the way that he, I suppose, hears women speak. That's how he hears that, I don't know. But let's just keep going. Like, I'm not going to take life advice from two fools who look like they have not seen the inside of a shower and a bar of soap in a month of Sundays. Just not going to do it. And on top of it, thing two over here drinks pee. No thanks. I bet he's popular in jail.
Right.
So, don't talk to me. Back on my head. So it's like a very simple, matter of fact, to the point points Katie was making. It has to be about her taking. She's like, I want to see some accountability and responsibility. The scapegoating is wild. That's her point. And it is. And I just feel.
Okay. To be fair, I can see why, from his perspective, it would look like she's attempting to scapegoat, like blame him. But the fact of the matter is that even in a even in a pre-sentencing investigation, they would have done like a background. They're going to ask about that kind of stuff. And the truth of the matter is, there is a significant age difference between you and Chloe. That's number one. And it seems as if perhaps, Lariah, you're a member for 3. Why is it not showing? It didn't show, Lariah, but thank you so much for being a member for 3 months. I appreciate that. For whatever reason, it didn't come up in the chat. Weird. Okay. Have a good evening, Grandma Sherry. Take it easy. But anyway, at the end of the day, I can understand why he feels the way he does, but the background information that was going to come out at some point anyway, because it was going to have to be explained who you are in relationship to Hannah and to Chloe. And, nobody is scapegoating you, but I mean, she's still responsible. Not guilty by reason of insanity is an affirmative defense. Bozo. Oh, this is one of those parts that's got to be redacted because they're speaking about the case. They should have just edited this whole chunk out, not just give us like 3 or 4 little words every so often. That's very rude.
But it's like, we're not in disagreement about the facts. It's just about that point. Whereas what these guys are doing on the defense is just like, what's up? Like, why couldn't you? Why not about? I don't believe that it's about histrionic and vitriolic triggers that Angela felt about me, that she just wants to make a feminist agenda out of it. Like, that might be true, but that's not it,
What is a feminist agenda? Like, come on, bro. If Chloe is saying that you were physically abusive towards her and mentally abusive towards her, right? And it becomes, because she there's some documentation, but not really. So it basically becomes a he said, she said. So what is the defense going to do? They're going to haul your ex in there. And what are they going to say? That you're, that you hit her, that you're abusive. If you don't want people to talk negatively about you, don't do negative shit. Speaking of not negative shit, but I just want to say I got those, and thank you very much. You guys know who you are, and I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you. Thank you for helping. I appreciate it.
And that's like the question beneath the question, like what really is driving this? Because according to multiple times.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Thank you, Lariah. Got it, babe. Got it. Just look at these two.
Oh, sure. As witness, really, they haven't really cared to like put their 2 cents in, and the crew doesn't really.
Now, this has got me thinking, yeah, they not on that lane, they on that pay. Gross. Oh my God, sipping on some urine. This has me thinking though, I wonder how much will be available after sentencing. She's got sentencing in a week. So I'm really curious what's going to come from that. If I'll be able to get the phone calls. I kind of want to hear more phone calls between these two, even though they irritate me. But the ones I really want to hear are Chloe's. I want to hear the ones between Chloe and Ben Michael Z.
Care what happens to herself. She's like, whatever happens to me kind of happens to me. So this is all just a brainchild, ginned up,
what?
Twirling mess of shit of Angela Trethewey.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because you asked the question, like, who is producing this? It's like very strange.
Sipping on straight chlorine. Let the vibe wash over me.
It's as if our whole relationship was boiled down to this 2-dimensional Stockholm cult leader syndrome trash. It's just like, no.
That's what he's mad about.
Regular relationship there.
That's what he's mad about. That you're not going to listen. You can be all the things at all the, you can be multiple things at one time. Okay. It's possible that you could have been a very, very good dad and you really loved your child. Although some of your thought processes and how you feel about women makes me a little nervous because because you had a daughter, but you can be that and be a total schmuck to your baby mama. Okay. Those are all possible. Okay. Stop getting mad. If you want to talk about multidimensional, nonstop mom. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, babe. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Oh my God. These two.
And she has deep knitted feelings. Like it's just
deep knitted feelings.
I mean,
it is cartoonish.
Yeah, it is cartoonish. Whatever.
This is how backwards this is. It's like, really? Is this really like?
Yes, really.
Or what is the point here? It's just like,
what I'm trying to get at is there's a layer between I don't know why I used the number 9, but the 9th layer of like the Matrix itself, bringing all these elements together from other things. It's like a reunion cartoon, but like leaving that alone, it's more like there's a level between that and just a simple matter of fact of the state being like this is a lot of like debris, just monkeys throwing poo. Beside that, there's somewhere in between where there's just.
I need to know. Now, okay, first you started off quoting The Wizard of Oz, referencing the Wizard of Oz. Now it sounds to me where when you're talking about monkeys flinging poo, that you might be um, referencing oh shit, what is it? It was just in my Madagascar. Remember those monkeys? If anyone has any poo, fling it now. Okay, maybe you're doing that, but I mean, the reference has to make sense in the context in which you're speaking, and it just doesn't. Meanwhile, you're on the phone and best buds with somebody who drinks their own urine. So maybe judging monkeys for flinging their own poo, maybe you're not in a space where you can judge, you know, pee drinkers in glass houses and all.
In her heart that's unable to reconcile in producing this. Because even if she's expressively ambivalent, she's not actually ambivalent. Obviously, she's the center of this whole storm. You know,
Of course.
so obviously on a level of depth analysis, like,
I mean, you're using big words, but you're saying literally nothing. I mean, what are they actually saying?
there's this very heavy Kiwani manipulation going on here.
Oh,
You know,
Kawhi,
saying one thing at night, one thing at the, it's like, it's just sort of, at a certain level, it's a what's that called? It's just
MK.
stimulus, signal, attention, you know, whoring. Just playing all sides, like what you got to lose almost, you know, like, you know, this is mental drama, you know, it's like, it's you know what I'm saying? I'm getting upset with myself because I can't find the eloquency quickly, the swift eloquency of the words I'm looking for, but it's like, you know, there's
It's not you can't find the analogy, you can't find the metaphor. What's the problem here? Have another sip of pee. That ought to fix things.
signal response, you know, neurotically, because you're just stirring up trouble inside herself and getting kind of a rise out of
Thank you,
the
Michelle.
multivariate stimulus
What?
of playing multiple sides, which is the female nature anyway, you know.
No. Let me stop you right there. It is a playing both ends against the middle, talking out of both sides of their face is a human. That is a human thing. That is not gender specific. Nonstop, Mom, you gave me a brilliant idea. We should get these two to be pen pals with Ezra. 2 birds, 1 stone. That's what we need. That's what we should do. Yep, we need to get these guys to write Ezra.
Want to like try out different roles and play this, like have all these incongruous parts just exist simultaneously. Not have to ordinate any of them into any kind of a consistent, you know, so she could be all these things. But so I don't know. I kind of like didn't have as much control and composure on this to try to say what I was saying. You know, but it's just
I still don't know what you're saying. You know, I was talking to Allie yes, Ezra McCandless. Yes. I was talking to Allie the other night and we were talking about these two. Hey, Rachel Lee, good to see you. And I was telling her how Jason Spillers had gotten up on the stand and testified about what a fantastic relationship they all had, Z and his women, and how they would wake up every morning and talk about their feelings. And I was telling Allie, I said to Allie, I cannot imagine a more torturous situation where I would be forced to wake up and the first thing you want me to do is talk about, I don't want to talk about my feelings at any time of the day, let alone first thing in the morning. And certainly not every morning. Because let me tell you what you're going to get out of Jen Lou if you start at wanting to hear about my feelings. I'm going to tell you the truth. First of all, I don't appreciate you making me talk about something that makes me uncomfortable that I don't want to talk about any damn way. When I feel the need to speak on my feelings, I will let you know. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I don't know how these women do it.
Like, why are we throwing all this monkey feces around? It's kind of weird.
Oh, now we're using
Like in the middle,
oh wow,
in that middle zone. And I don't understand the professional stupidity or suicide
what?
of Angela's team to be doing this. It just seems retarded.
Yeah, I don't get it either. What?
So,
Wow, you're
now
so
on, like,
enlightened
cosmic
using words
matrix
like
level,
that.
It's almost like the state has to be the guardians for me, like saying like, shut up.
I wish you would shut up.
This call will be terminated in 2 minutes.
Hey, Mrs. O.
Which, of course, like if you go deep enough into it, it's like the account of Satan going, "Don't say lies about him. We're trying to get him on what he has done." There's very minute and acute things that we can hold this guy for. But if you say all that, you're going to muddy the waters. Come on, man.
That's what you're really worried about too. You don't really care about what happened to your daughter. To me, it seems like what you really care the most about, the thing that is most important and most pressing to you, is that you don't get caught up on some charges yourself for other things.
Like too much of that is refutable,
I don't know. It's just gibberish nonstop, Mom. But I like making fun of
Jonathan called
them.
me last night to tell me that because of some case where a lawyer was involved and there was a murder that's been going on until a few days ago in Cherokee County, Court TV was there, and Court TV has decided to pick up the case, and the state didn't seem like they had a position on it. The state and the defense.
This call will be terminated in 1 minute.
Spit it out, buddy. You got a minute.
Apparently, the judge granted it.
Oh wow.
So the entire case is going to be nationally televised, and I'm like, fuck yeah, let's get this shit out there on record.
Yeah, let's do it.
So there's the potential. I was like, oh, all the angels are coming in, huh? Yeah. Why don't you guys lay your big fat lies on national TV with the matter of fact, curt nature of Katie's presentation, just flatlining it. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Then it's like, you take that
Jason
along with
and
me,
Ben, you're going to do fantastic
or whatever
prison.
Court TV is for like Gabriella's case with Kylie, and it's like, yeah, the state of Georgia already said this is nonsense.
Dude, I can't help but feel like this is going to help me out with
all
this. You're going to give me the opportunity to speak.
It's sick. It's just sick.
This call was terminated because it exceeded the permitted.
Hold on a sec. Okay. And now, hey, Mrs. O. Hey, who else have I missed? I feel like, hey, Anna. You out nonstop, Mom? All right. Now, this is an oldie, but a goodie. Hold on. Let me get over here. Hold on a second. Let me get this for you. All right. So now, this is an oldie, but a goodie. Let's go over here to Mom on the Case. Oh, you're saying bye to them. I'm super smart today. And let's hear from Lori, Chad, and Melanie Gibb. Now, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the goings on with Lori Vallow, but y'all, Lori Vallow wants to represent herself in Arizona. That's what she wants. And she has like standby counsel, but the first thing they got to do, kind of like Letitia, okay? Because they got to make sure that Lori can make that decision, that she's competent to make that decision. And so I guess they're going to let her. I don't know. All right. So we're going to go over here to, hold on a second. Let me find it again. To Mom on the Case. She has all the whole audio from the Feel the Fire podcast. So we're going to get Chad, Lori, and Melanie, and yeah. Also, before we get started, just really quickly before I forget this, because this has been on my mind since Monday. Y'all, I still cannot. I'm not shocked about Sarah Boone's sentence. I think Judge Kranick did a fantastic job. I think he sentenced her correctly. But I am still in shock over her allocution. Like, that actually shocked me. I knew that Sarah Boone was going to Sarah Boone when it was her turn. But I never in 11 billion years thought that she was going to look at George's family and say, I forgive the Torres family. Like, bruh, that was not anywhere on my bingo card at all. Like, I did not see that coming at all. And this is it right here, you guys. This is it. Okay, Rachel's still shocked. Kathy's still shocked. Lariah says she's as vile as she comes. Roro says, oh, hold on. I clicked the wrong one. Hold on. Crap. It jumped right when it did it. Roro says, Bindi called the sentence. I thought she would get 30. Rachel says, I'm ashamed that she can still shock me, but she gets me every time. Yes, that's it. Yana says, we already knew Sarah was a garbage pail. She really took it to the next level. She did. Hey, Nick. Nick says, apparently Sarah Boone has a new attorneys for appeals. She does. It was appointed. Hey, Music City. Good to see you, babe. It's been a minute. Yes, she did that. Yes, she did. And I have to say, this is the other thing that kind of shocked me too. I thought that, you know how when Sarah speaks, she has that upward inflection at the end of the word? There was none of that. And she wasn't even nervous. That also shocked me. Hey, Dumplings Grandma. Yes, the audacity indeed. So much audacity. Hey, Lucky Spinster, good to see you. So much. I've never seen that much audacity in one space at one time. Hey, California, Amy, good to see you. Adrian, good to see you. I missed you coming in. I just, and this was the other part. Okay. So she said this is the edited version now when she got up there. And I was thinking to myself, okay, Sarah edited it. Okay. Like that she edited it maybe for time. Okay. Because I never thought that she would need to edit it for content. And she edited it for content and left what she left in. Like, that's still mind-boggling me. But the fact that Owens had her take some of the stuff out. Oh, man. I'm still blown away by that. And I don't know why. And it does bother me on some level that Boone can still like shock me, because I'm always thinking, come on, how much more can Sarah Boone, right? How much more can she do? and then she gets up on that stand and says what she says. Listen, I'll say this right now. And I was telling because Allie and I were catching up on all the things, because it was, she was gone to the beach, and then, Thanksgiving and all that. So she's not feeling well. So, and she's sick. And I'm not a bugaboo friend. Like, I'll send a text and, check in. And then, like, when you don't feel good, you don't want to be bugged. So we ended up talking Monday night, and we were talking about it, and I didn't want to spoil it for her. So, because she only listened to part of it. So what we were talking about it, and this is, well, after I get all situated and settled and everything like that, like, I would put $100 on Sarah's commissary for the unedited version. I kind of want to see it, but I also don't want to pay Sarah, but I know that's the only way that I would ever get to see it. Yes, we should look. She warned us when she said just the tip of the iceberg. We should have known. We should have known. We should have known right then. This is fixing to be bad. Do you guys want to hear it one more time, or should we play? Do you want me to play Feel the Fire first? It's up to you guys. Yes, and then she couldn't even get one person to read or to come and speak for her. Okay, and this is what's so, like, this is what you kind of like got to put it all together or whatever. Okay, this isn't like Sarah, like, was born and raised on the playground is where she spent most of her. No, okay, it's not like she wasn't born and raised somewhere else, like in another state. Okay, and then she lived her adult life. Like, for example, if God forbid I was on trial and I needed some character witnesses, okay? Obviously, it would be here in Florida. It would be more difficult because everybody that would probably come and speak for me as far as character witness, friends and family, are in Texas, okay? But that's not the situation. Like, she grew up in Orange County and could not get one person in her real life to speak for her. Do you guys want to hear it again? We can hear it again. All right, I'll tell you what. This is what we'll do. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to hear Boone again. Put a 2 in the chat if you want to hear Feel the Fire. We can do both. Just 1 is for the next thing we play to be Boone, or 2 is for Feel the Fire. All right. So far we have 2 votes. 3 votes. All right. Let me go while you guys are voting. Let me go get it. Un momentito. Because I would really, 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 really. Now, I had some choice words that day, but I wonder if I can. Let me get to Sarah. Wonder if I can give Sarah a church read. That would be a real exercise. That would mean I'd have to absolutely read her for filth, but no cuss words. None. I think I can do it. All right. Let me see what you guys have. Okay, so Christine, we're putting a 1 in chat if the next thing you want me to play is Sarah Boone's allocution at her sentencing trial or her sentencing hearing, or 2 is the Field the Fire podcast. Well, we're going to play both of them. So, okay, I see more ones than twos. So let me say this. Let's go over here. Let me close this out. Let me take this off the screen. Okay, it's not on the screen. Okay, let's share this tab instead. Make it big. All right. I think I can do this, you guys. You're going to get full snark, just no cussing. Okay? So I got them both ready to go. We'll listen to Sarah, and then we'll listen to Elo. What do you want to hear? Number 3, and then we'll listen to Feel the Fire podcast a little bit and have some laughs, because I haven't heard that one in a while, and I kind of miss Lori's or Melanie Gibbs' voice, where she's kind of like eating the microphone. And then Lori's asking, well, what was Jesus wearing, Chad? Yeah, I mean, we'll get there. All right, here we go. Sarah's getting marked.
Ms. Boone, you can be seated. You've been previously sworn.
I do think that it is.
You may inquire, sir.
Hold on. Owens, I'm not ready for you yet. Okay, I do take some satisfaction in seeing Sarah being led by the belt thing. What is that called? The shackles. The waist shackles. I don't know why, but it does make me giggle.
Sarah Boone.
Now, this is unlike a trial, so you're allowed to speak in a narrative form, as well as I understand you have taken some notes or written a letter that you want to read from, and then you want to speak to the court after that.
Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and get started?
This is actually an edited version of.
Hold on a second.
Jeez, man, hands. Hey, Owens. First of all, that's on. You're all like, you're just wrecking our ears right now. Be considerate. And second of all, don't be so rough. You going to pay for that, buddy? Sheesh.
I had a lot to say. I've had a lot of time to think about things, and I didn't really know how to put it on paper, and I didn't know how much I could say or how little I should say. So
let me just say this, Sarah. Next time, when those questions come in your brain, less is more.
what I have here is, like I said, an edited version. But I would like to read the more important parts that I feel that everyone should know that wasn't said in my actual trial. And on top of what I have on paper, I have, this is just the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. So I wanted to read this, and then if I may, I would like to
So many tips, so little time.
address everyone in my apology on top of my statement.
You may proceed, ma'am.
Kintu sukuroi is a kind of Japanese ceramic style which means to repair with gold. In this tradition, when a ceramic piece breaks, an artisan will fuse the pieces back together again using liquid gold or gold dust lacquer. So rather than being covered up, the breaks become more obvious and a brilliant new piece of art emerges from the brokenness. It embraces flaws, weakness, and imperfections, and also teaches the essence of resilience. Every crack in a ceramic piece is a part of its history, and each piece becomes more.
I'll give it to you, Sarah. You're quite resilient to march your cookies up to that stand like that and continue to say the things that you say. And with that hairdo, yeah, you got some resilience. That's sure.
more beautiful because it has been broken. This is the wisdom of Kintu Sukuroi. In my wisdom and with all of my repairs, then, now, and ongoing, God is, has been, and will always be my artisan. All of my gold is forgiveness. This has held me together, made me shine brighter, and overcome the damage caused by George Torres, the Torres family, the justice system, Orange County Corrections Department, social media, scoundrel detectives, infamy, defamation, ongoing constitutional rights violations, second-degree.
Good for you, Sarah, for knowing the difference between fame and infamy. Good for you, because you're not famous. You're definitely infamous. Scoundrel detectives gets me every single time. I would like to know what it is that what's happening with the closed captionings. What is a degree? You got nerves there. I'll give it to you.
Forced into being pro se. Just as gold is very precious, forgiveness is invaluable. Forgiveness is not an attempt to change or forget who, what, or how you've lived through to be so gold, but an act of grace, humility, and considerable self-compassion to be set free from sorrow. Withholding forgiveness denies your brilliance and adds even greater grief and deeper heartache, irreparable cracks on top of the already that no one deserves, no matter the pain or disappointment, untruths or injustice. It doesn't matter. As the more broken you are, even though now different than before, you've become more outstanding and more extraordinary. Above all, when you let go of blame, misunderstandings, excuses, give up your anger and cease from resentment, this is forgiven. And when you forgive, you heal. And when you heal, you move forward. My goal begins with George Torres, and every time he slapped me, kicked, punched.
Kathy. Everybody, please be on the lookout for Kathy's new group, Vigilante Underwear. Her new single, her debut single, will be Scoundrel Detectives. And please, 2025, the year of Vigilante Underwear and Scoundrel Detectives. Be on the lookout. And remember, you heard it here first at the Word Case Studies, as I continue to provide ongoing good content that you can get nowhere else. You will find this kind of content nowhere else. Oh, okay. Wow, Sarah's already off to a fantastic start. She talks about forgiveness, and then she proceeds to spit out her litany of grievances against George in a tone that sounds less than forgiving. It's like she's spitting nails.
Spit on, raped, stabbed,
Oh, Lord.
Choked, laughed at, pushed, pulled, dragged, whipped, tripped, stole from, lied, terrorized, threatened, humiliated, forced, degraded, made me cry. Every time he tried to end me, defeat, or destroy. I forgive George for beating me senseless, for trying to sleep because I had to go to work or my son's field trip the next day, for ruining my deceased family's heirlooms, traditions, and keepsakes, my son's furniture.
Let me stop you right there, Sarah. You know there were photographs taken of your apartment, right? How did George ruin your family's traditions? Traditions are not typically something we think of as tangible, something that can be ruined. So exactly what tradition did George Torres take away from you? I'm not sure what that is. Also, we did see your son's bedroom, and I have to say, As messy as Sarah is, like as a human being, she keeps her apartment actually clean, and her son's room was very clean. So there's that. Nothing looked damaged.
destroying the television we watched together, for wrecking our townhome by breaking windows, punching holes in the walls and doors,
Yes, it
ramming
was,
his entire
Rachel.
body into glass doors, kicking in my front and back door over and over and over, for breaking or removing the locks from all of the doors and sometimes the knobs altogether, so I had nowhere to feel safe, including the sacred space of my son's room where he beat me bloody on his bed.
Let me stop you right there. You know that, is there anybody that believes this poppycock? If George had done all of these things like she's saying that he did, don't you think the apartment complex would have an issue with her damaging, or with the damage to the apartment, to their property? Did you see any holes in the walls? So you're telling me that George did all of these things and then what? Patched them up like new so you couldn't even tell? Sarah, Sarah, Sarah. The lies, the lies, the lies. All right, here we go.
For terrorizing and threatening my blind and deaf dogs by leaving the gate open I built to keep them safe, telling me he hoped I'd find their bloated dead body in the pond or scrape their remains off of the pavement, for kicking them off of the bed and throwing across the room because they were trying to protect me.
I don't believe that either. I don't. I don't believe that at all. Not for one single second. Yes. Elo, did you not know that Sarah Boone is the miracle worker of the dog community? She has the Helen Keller of dogs, a blind dog and a deaf dog. She's the miracle worker. I honestly can't understand how she hasn't gotten some sort of commendation from the SPCA or rescue groups that, for dogs. I'm sure that the dogs, I feel awful for those dogs actually, because Sarah's a yeller. So
For threatening to make me unrecognizable to my son by breaking all of the bones in my face, like his brother Moses did to him after he kept seeing all of the bruises from George beating me, like all of the times their father beat their mother. For all of the drunken rages and fist fights.
now, see, this was unnecessary, completely and totally unnecessary. This is an absolute swipe, an absolute dig at somebody who is no longer alive to give their side of the story, which is George's father. She did to George's father what Owens has done to George and his brother. Now, I'm not saying that George's brother, who is currently in prison because he did murder the mother of his child by stabbing her repeatedly. That did happen. He is a violent murderer. But Owens said in one of his interviews that the Torres men are terrible to their women, or something to that effect, as if George and his brother were the same.
It's
It's
with so
ridiculous.
many neighbors when wandering into their apartments during hunting expeditions after I had escaped. For drowning me in liquor and wine because I didn't want to drink.
Wait a minute, Sarah. Excuse me, ma'am. But correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Sarah actually have beef with the neighbors? Who were the neighbors that she Oh, okay, nonstop mom. Thanks, babe. Thank you, and thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that, babe. Thank you very much. Who was it? Who were the oh, I missed something now. When I see the let me see the lawyer. Oh, the lawyer, said the family walked out. Well, good. Good. I saw at one time one of them. No. I know who Lyn. Oh my God, LYK is. I can't even talk. Yeah, I sure know who it is. But I do. Anytime I see that, I want to see what's said because I do like the lawyer. I really do. But who were the neighbors that Sarah decided would be a good idea during the interrogation? Wasn't it, yeah, LYK, can't talk. What were their names? Now I can't even remember. It'll come to me in a minute. I didn't want to drink. Sarah, please do not make me pull up the video of you berating George because there was enough when you went to bed, there was enough vodka for two people to have a good time, a really good time. And he was selfish and drank it all. Those are your words, not mine. So
causing me to urinate on myself.
and now he had you drink so much. Like, what was George doing? Were you, holding you up? Were you doing kickstands, keg stands? What was going on? Funnels? Like that you were so overserved that come on, Sarah. Nobody
then butting
believes
the end
that.
of the bottle in my face, giving me 2 black eyes and a bloody nose. For making me experience what it is to be sodomized. Threatening to kill my friends and the neighbors when they checked on me to make sure I was alive and in one piece.
Okay, so you know what I was thinking about when I heard this? First of all, I was, like, whatever, bruh. It's just, okay. So, remember towards the end of the trial, okay? And Owens was talking to Judge Cranick. It was on the record. And he was saying, something to the effect of, Sarah understands that, she has ideas about things that should come out in the trial or things that should be done in the trial. But, it's my job to, do the trial strategy. Okay. He did mention, he did talk about these last 2 allegations that Sarah made about being essayed. He did mention those, but where did he mention those? He mentioned those on court TV in an interview, okay? Not in open court. And the only thing that I can think of is that it's not true because lawyers aren't allowed to lie. They cannot put on evidence they know isn't true.
For threatening to burn down our townhome and set my car on fire because I got a job. For holding me hostage on weekends my son was supposed to come over by keeping my keys around his neck, my phone in his crotch, and a butcher knife stuck in the middle of the table as a warning not to ask anything or try to leave.
Is this like Brian, your ex-husband, who, how did you put it? Yes. Was notorious for bringing your son over whenever there were things going on between you and George that no child should see? Is that like that time? Because correct me if I'm wrong there too, Sarah, but wasn't it you who called Brian at 2:00 in the morning to bring you your spare key? Not a please, not a thank you, but a demand? And wasn't your son with your ex-husband? Because that's where he lived primarily. So wouldn't that mean that at 2:00 in the morning, he would have had to, unless he had somebody stay with him, that he would have had to bring your son? So isn't it you that brings your son and drags your son in the middle of things that no child should be a part of? Thought so. Don't play with me, Sarah.
for stabbing me in the leg and not letting me call 911 for an ambulance or seek help, where I nearly bled to death until I concocted a lie to save him from being arrested.
We all saw that. Look, Sarah, we have all seen your scar. Okay. You did not almost bleed to death. You didn't come anywhere close to bleeding to death. Okay. In fact, the space between you and bleeding to death is like 11 billion light years. Okay. It's ridiculous. You did not almost bleed to death. Stop it. I will point out, however, though, that alcohol is a blood thinner. So perhaps you once again were inebriated and it looked like a lot of blood. And I know that you have a penchant for exaggeration. So that's maybe why you have a faulty memory. But I can assure you, you were nowhere near bleeding to death.
For destroying my phone with a hammer because my son called. For me experiencing ever being arrested and after today, prison. For beating me almost blind, crushing my occipital lobe. For having me experience what it means to see stars like.
Also, Sarah, your attorney submitted, I don't know, something like 11 billion pages of medical records, your medical records. And nowhere in there was your occipital bone broken or damaged or anything. I felt like that would have been brought up. But once again, here we are talking about God and lying your face off. Fantastic. I love that for you.
In the cartoons, where a character has a tall lump on their head. I had that too, and many times. For dragging me downstairs by my hair in the middle of the night just to sit next to him.
Oh, you mean like on the night of the incident, the night that you put George into a suitcase and you took his life? That night when you think that the neighbors who don't have faulty memories, but they somehow misremembered that what they actually heard was George dragging you down the stairs because you were missing a chunk of hair, as you say, yet you were photographed and no chunk was missing. And believe me, I'm an expert at spotting a chunk missing out of hair. Ask NK, she'll tell you.
For taking my car driving drunk with my debit card to buy more alcohol while I slept, even after I kindly explained the importance of my car to take my son to school foremost, me to work, and he to his batterers intervention classes and probation officer meetings, where I would be forced to sit for hours in the parking lot waiting for him.
Forced to sit for hours in the parking lot waiting for him? Huh. Didn't you tell the detectives, I'm sorry, the scoundrel detectives, that George was doing great in his classes, that you were helping him, that you weren't tired of helping him, that you liked helping him? Isn't that what you said? So were you lying to the scoundrel detectives then, or are you lying to everybody now? Because, either way, you're a liar. Here we go.
For causing me so much trauma and pain, mentally, physically, emotionally, I had to be hospitalized more than once. For destroying my reputation and integrity, for my M for murderer scarlet letter, not letting me feel safe to live, talk to other people, spend time with my son.
She's blaming George. Huh. You're blaming George for dying at your hands, which is murder. It's George's fault that you're a murderer. Did you really just say that out loud? Like, Sarah, I can totally tell that you're one of those people that has like all kinds of ideas and thoughts spinning around in that head of yours. Okay. I cannot believe that none of those, that there was not some sort of buffer in between your brain and your mouth or your pen where you said where there was some sort of intervention there to say, you know, these are maybe this is one of those things I should just think in my head and never say out loud. Oh, speaking of Jamie, I had an opportunity to to listen to those calls. We're going to talk about it. Even though we didn't get our trial, we're going to talk about it. All right, I'll be right back. But I'm going to let this play for a little bit so that you guys don't have to hear all of me constantly interrupting every 2 seconds because some ridiculousness falls out of Sarah Boone's mouth.
None, have a job, friendships, simply go to the bathroom with the door closed, or go to sleep soundly or comfortably. I forgive George for lying, for him trying in so many ways, so many times, to end me with his terrifying love. I also forgive the Torres family, his mother and father foremost, also his 2 ex-wives and daughters, all for knowing who George was capable of and has done in the past, his history of violence and where he learned it, then to keep turning a blind eye when I would ask for help. All of his siblings, including Farrell Torres, who is now on his way to prison for stabbing the mother of their baby in the side of her head. For everyone who knew what George was doing to me, sometimes how and when, but allowed and enabled. I forgive them for caring too late. I hope they all ask themselves while quiet and comfortable in bed at night the uneasy question, what could I have done to stop this from happening to both of them? And after all the time Sarah tried to, by asking for help, from all of us and so many times. Another great contributor of my gold is social media, with its greed, insensitivity, deception, obvious exploitation, and advantageous gain from my criminal case as a whole, and for sentencing me by anticipation as a result of ignorance and hate, conjured and fabricated by the organized crime that is social media, which condemned me in the court of global public opinion since the beginning. My family law case is the new prey waiting to be picked apart and pillaged from me being made infamous by social media in my criminal case. It simply seems I cannot forgive and be forgiven and move forward. Social media has made me a pariah. It has caused great oppression and undeniable disadvantages, especially by broadcasting and manipulating my cases online. In my criminal case, as a result, my opportunities to be given a fair, proper, and uninfluenced, successful conclusion was heavily depleted and poisoned. I forgive them. Also, all of the media tycoons for not having a life of their own, trying so desperately to make themselves seem so right by making me appear so wrong. Forgiveness for prejudgment, ridiculous theatrics, lies, making and taking blood money from my and others' misfortunes, accidents, and catastrophes. It's all over their hands and their keyboards. And even after all that's been said and done, theorized, hypothesized, scrutinized, and blasphemed, in my case, still no one knows me. In the end, I forgive myself for not choosing my life sooner, for not being more brave, vigilant, bolder, and outspoken, stronger, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, for being hopeless, desperate, simple-minded, weak, and inexperienced. I forgive myself for not realizing I was enduring a life of domestic violence and that the vicious cycle of never ends. I had nothing to compare to. I've never been hit by a man ever before in my life. I was raised hitting a woman was wrong and should never happen. No excuse. I forgive myself for not escaping permanently, for not fighting back sooner to save myself, my son, my dogs, home, and car. Having 20/20 hindsight, thinking of everything I could have done differently or better to avoid the outcome. I think about this every day since. Also, of all the good days we had together, for him at least, while I was constantly in hyperdrive, high alert, and paranoid, making sure I did everything right all the time. If not, the great possibility I would be ended as George threatened me with so many times before. I forgive myself for falling in love with a monster, and no matter how grotesque he may become, I still loved him, hoped, and forgave. I tried breaking the spell so he wouldn't be a monster anymore. I saw who he was inside. George made me then, now, and always love him for all of his cracks also. We made each other our own brilliant pieces of art from the cracks and repairs. Unfortunately, not all cracks can be. In all of my forgiveness, George is my greatest lesson and will forever be a part of me. I think of him every day and still speak to him when alone on the rec yard. I ask his forgiveness and that he looks for me at the gates of heaven so I can tell him how sorry I am, endlessly, and that I never stopped loving him. In all of it and still.
Now look here, Sarah, and please nobody take offense to this, okay? Please don't, because I do believe in God, okay? I'm not, but that's my business and I don't put it on anybody and I don't expect anybody to believe the same way I do. But I know for a fact that when I pass away, I am not going to be just let in the pearly gates, okay? I know that I'm going to need some letters of explanation, some character witnesses, and I'm probably going to have to be like I'll be holding up the line. So I'm sure I'm going to be pushed over to the side in some holding area while they think about things, while they look over my application. Okay. If I am going to do that, I'm pretty sure that that's going to happen to you, lady. Also, social media didn't do anything to you. Okay. It is not our fault that some of us are quite capable of making astute, accurate, and hilarious observations of your behavior all at once. Nothing that I said about your crime was a lie. I read your words in your letters verbatim, ma'am. And no, I do not know you. What know are you talking about? Are you talking about knowing you in the biblical sense? No. Are we friends? Also, no. Would I be friends with somebody like you? Again, no. Why? Because you're not a fun gal, okay? You're mean, you're bossy, and you're too high strung for me, and it wouldn't work out, okay? So at the end of the day, stop blaming everybody else. The person that you need to be blaming is yourself, okay? And you need to start with the man in the mirror, ma'am. The calls are coming from inside the house. It's you. You did this. George didn't do this. The apartment was in your name. You had him arrested 11 billion times. He covered for you each and every time. He only ever said one time that you hit him. And that was the time that they took you to jail, that you got arrested, that you got charged. The one time. And what happened when he did that? You recorded what happened. You spent all that time in that video telling him exactly what to say about you so that he could get the charges dropped. You are the problem, lady. Don't be blaming social media and everybody else. We did not do this. You did it.
When I first came to jail, I put my mat under my bed and cried all day and all night for months, only falling asleep from being so exhausted with grief.
I think that's a lie. Let me say this. Do I think that she might have put her mat on the floor and cried? Yes. Do I think that she may have put her mat in her bunk and cried? Also, yes. Not for anybody else, but for Sarah. That's who she cried for. They would not allow you to sleep under the bunk. Stop it, Sarah.
I wrote him letters. I wrote his family and his daughters apologizing for asking for their forgiveness. But due to fear that my life or sons would be jeopardized, I did not send. I am sorry. I cannot begin to fathom any of their grief and sadness. Please forgive me.
None of that sound genuine. None of it. You're not sorry. You don't want their forgiveness. You don't care. Stop playing with these people, Sarah. You should have just stopped at the end of it without apologizing or anything, because that's how you really feel.
Almost everything reminds me of him, seeing my stab wound especially every day especially. It truly reminds me that all I really did live through.
Look, okay, all of us have scars. Some of us have scars that you can see. Some of us have scars that you can't see. And some of us have both. Most of us have both. Okay. I've had many surgeries. I don't see my scars every day. You need to stop, Sarah. You don't see your scar every single day. That is ridiculous. Stop it.
George haunts me. He is everywhere. I believe because I do still love him, think of him, and miss his laugh the most. In my heart, I know he is with me and understands that this tragedy was not intentional. I hope everyone can, his family foremost.
You think George understands that it wasn't intentional when he told you repeatedly he couldn't breathe and you refused to let him out? That's intentional. You intentionally didn't let him out. And as a result, he died from positional asphyxiation. That wasn't, that's what happened. You have to first accept it, lady.
I didn't mean for this to happen. Please wholeheartedly know that, and always, I would never. Forgive me, George. Forgive me, Torres family. Forgive me, Judge Cranick. To the entire planet, please forgive me. I graciously and humbly ask for consideration, for forgiveness to be extended instead of judgment, for reconciliation and restoration for all of us to move forward. My apology is profuse and ceaseless. Allow me, please, to brush off the muck, wipe the blood off of my face, and fix the cuts in my skin. I ask for understanding in what really happened and for how long, for second chances, repentance, and redemption to advocate for all domestic violence survivors.
No. Redemption and repentance. Why don't you have to repent before you can have redemption?
To help them overcome, heal, and still hope, always. To make their voices heard, to confidently walk with all of their scars on the outside and the inside. To help them not ever become a casualty of domestic violence as so many others. To stop the abuse and maltreatment before it's too late. There is always hope, and you can survive. In my soft-spoken conclusion, I ask this.
Soft-spoken.
Would I be the darling mother,
Hold
celebrated
on.
woman of the year?
Hold on a minute. Back the milk truck up. Back the milk truck up. All the way. Back it up. Put it in park. Hold the phone. Sarah, did you just read your notes? Like in a play, the script where it will tell you how you're supposed to say something. Did you just read that out loud? Is that what you just read? Lord. Well, I'll tell you one thing you don't excel at. Apologies, regret, remorse. You don't excel at any of those, ma'am.
If it were I who died. How many daughters, mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, nieces, and friends have been because they did? I am a survivor. Learn to do good, seek justice, rebuke oppressors, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. Isaiah 1:17, all-encompassing, protect the abused.
Ms. Boone, is that the end of your written statement?
Yes.
Now, gathering your thoughts, did you want to make an oral statement?
I do.
All right, would you do that now?
Yes, please. My statement, my verbal statement is primarily to the Torres family, to the judge, to his daughters. I know you all know who I really am and that I did care for George and that I do still love George. I know you know that we had very many good days. And I take offense to the statement of being said that this is just for a moment. Right now with me here in the courtroom in front of you all, this is just for a moment.
Again, Sarah, that's not what she meant. She is thinking that. Like, she took that break and was listening to Owens, and she's like, yep, nailed it. It's not what she meant. She wasn't talking about you. She was talking about the people in the courtroom. Idiot.
But the moments before that, in order for me to be here,
Are your fault.
is
Here she goes.
endless. It's everlasting. The The scars that I have on the inside, my outside scars have healed except for my stab wound. But this has changed me as a person.
Why does she keep bringing up the stab wound? Sarah, you listen, okay? I remember the day that you were on the stand and that you showed the jury your stab wound, okay? The day that I thought that you were actually wearing tights, and when it turns out you were not. Nobody could hardly even see that scar. Stop it. Stop it. I don't know. I was thinking the same thing, Nonstop Mom, about how in the world that, like, she's so lucky that there was so much space, and also two officers between the family and Sarah. Now, see what I would have, I'm not even going to say it. Well, yes, I will. What I would have done is I would have sent my sister as the distraction, like draw all of the cops over here, and then I would have rushed. I would have had a plan. She is out of control and out of hand.
To see things differently and to understand things differently and to...
Sarah, how are you understanding, seeing, and reacting and just doing things differently? You are the same exact person sitting on the stand right now as you were in every single one of those body cam footages. You are the exact same person. You haven't changed at all. If anything, I think you actually might be worse.
not be weak and just try to protect yourself and forever, regardless of the time that I may receive from today, I forever will have this experience. I forever will have George Torres with me in my heart, in my mind.
Let me give you a little spoiler alert, Sarah. Let me tell you the length of time that you will be sentenced to. Forever.
My body and my soul. As he and I used to say that we were one soul split into two bodies. This is not just for a moment. It may be for everyone in this courtroom, but when I leave, this is forever. When you all leave, that this is forever. This is forever. For
It's
everyone
forever.
here and those who it matters to.
You need to stop. You're not doing a very good impression of Andre 3000. Forever ever? Stop it, Sarah.
Most. I am one of those who will experience this forever.
Forever.
I'm sorry. Words do not define my shame, and I don't know what else it is that I can say and convey to the Torres family how this happened. The ifs and whys and how really don't matter. It happened, and I'm sorry. Words cannot describe. And I hope that everyone can forgive me, the Torres family most of all, and his daughters, because I know what he meant to them. And I don't think that anybody ever understood what he meant to me and I to him. And I ask for forgiveness.
Oh, well,
Ms. Boone, I have just one or two questions, if you don't mind. And you can speak on it if you want or not. But this is a unique case, and one of the reasons it's so unique is that you were in jail for 4.5 years prior to your trial. And I understand that
it's really not that
when you
unique.
were brought up as a
Owens.
child, that you did have some spirituality in your family, some church, some religion.
Always.
But I understand that you got away from that. Did you have a chance during the 4.5 years to look back at your spirituality?
Absolutely.
You know, Sarah, it occurs to me that you pleaded for Pop-Tarts, mints, and juice boxes harder then you pleaded with the Torres family for forgiveness. You were more emotional over getting your hair did for the trial, having them remove the cuffs while you were in the courtroom. Those pleas were far more emotional and actually believable than this farce.
You know, everyone supposes that this is one of the worst experiences of my life, and it's actually been one of my greatest.
Oh my God.
If I
Did you just give the Gypsy Rose speech? Is that what I heard, y'all? Is that what I heard? Did I just hear Sarah Boone say, I've actually been more free in prison than I was when I was out of prison? Did she just say that? Is that what she just said? Hold on. What has Nick said? Yes, Michelle. She never mentions. The only time she mentions her son is as a weapon. It's weird. Ugh, she's terrible. I'm pretty sure that's what she did. She just gave the Gypsy Rose speech. Lord.
If I were not beaten to death, I was going to work myself to death on the outside, and I never had time to get
I'm sorry, when were you working?
back into my Bible and to pray and to be with the Lord. And I, being here incarcerated, have had time, of course, to get closer to God, to reacquaint myself to Him and realize what it's all about. This is all temporary. And when I say temporary,
You do, yeah, Sarah. I mean, I will ask the chat. You really absolutely strike me as somebody who's found peace, inner peace. You seem super calm. You know, you've harnessed your chi, you've aligned your chakras. Yeah, that's totally how I would describe you.
I don't mean by being set free in jail or from prison or wherever else. It means being set free and temporary, meaning that you work for something higher, you work for God, that you strive for your crown to be placed upon your head by Jesus Christ by being said, you have done well, my good and faithful servant.
We get what you mean, Sarah. What you mean is all of this is just temporary. We're all meant for something bigger. Gotcha.
I've always tried to be a good and faithful servant. I was just a servant as opposed to doing all that I can when my family were alive and I was going through everything up to this point. I've become so much more closer to the Lord, and it's made me such a better person, and I hope that I am an example going forward of the Lord's light.
Oh my goodness, I nearly choked on my own snark. No. No, you're not. I mean, you are a cautionary tale. You're an example of what not to do. I don't think that you're a much better person. Again, please don't make me come out with exhibits. I just don't want to. It's getting late. But yeah, you're not better at all. In fact, you're worse.
And can draw many people to me because of it.
Any follow-up, State?
I assume that was the final word.
Thank you.
MK. Well, while you're busy making license plates, can I get one that says not intentional? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And Mr. J back there. No, I assume that was the final word.
She can return back to council's table.
Now let's hear him sentence, sir. This is
Anything
the
else from your
best
side of
part.
the ledger, Mr. Owens?
No more witnesses, Judge, just arguments.
Okay. Anything else in rebuttal, or just proceed to argument state?
We don't need to hear the argument. Sarah sucks. The end.
I would ask that you consider
And in writing, Dr. Harper's report and testimony, the defendant's testimony, pre-sentencing investigation, the arguments of the state and the arguments of the defense. Court pronounces sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life in the Department of Corrections with credit time served that Madam Clerk will provide to you momentarily. There are also court costs and costs of prosecution, which Madam Clerk will give you the totals of momentarily. Due to the court levying a life sentence, the court is inclined to liquidate those to a civil judgment unless I hear opposition from the state.
No opposition, Your Honor.
All right. Madam Clerk, if you could please give us the credit time served and the court costs, please.
4 years, 9 months, and 8 days, and the court costs are $418, a state prosecution fee of $100, a dirt fee of $50, and a PD. Oh, excuse me, you're not screwdriver.
I'm right.
So the total would be would come up to $618.
All right, ma'am, the court
Wow.
costs and costs of prosecution are $618. Those will be liquidated to a civil judgment. You will be given credit time served of 4 years, 9 months, and 8 days. You will have 30 days from today to appeal the judgment and sentence in writing. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you. I'm going to have the courtroom deputy provide you the paperwork. Because you've been incarcerated for the last 58 some odd months, the court is going to declare that you are indigent in this matter. I cannot appoint the public defender to represent you as they are conflicted out. Similarly, I cannot appoint the regional conflict counsel to represent you for the same reasons. The clerk will appoint an attorney from the conflict wheel who specializes in appellate litigation. And again, you'll have 30 days from today to appeal that judgment and sentence in writing. Do you have any questions for me? You will now be remanded into the custody of the Orange County Jail to transfer you to the Department of Corrections, and I wish you the best of luck.
All right. Hey, you know what I haven't done? Let's see if Sarah Boone's new mugshot's out. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Not yet. She's still over at Orange County. Wow, wow, wow. All right, you guys. Wow. I'm glad that I'm also glad that Judge Kranig didn't say anything to her, because I think that yeah, all the regerts. I think that I think that if Judge Kranig would have given her a tongue lashing, she would have tried to use that as some type of, weaponize that as well. And what I had forgotten is about Judge Kranig is that he hears a tremendous amount of domestic violence cases. That's really what his court is, what he hears primarily. And I think that him not speaking actually said everything. Because at the end of the day, Sarah, like Letitia, is a slap. The things that she says, her behaviors are slap in the face to true domestic violence survivors. With Letitia, true mental illness, people who have truly do have mental illness and strive every single day to not only, get up and do all of the things that we as human beings are required to do every day, just in general living, but most of the people who have mental illness also try to make their little corner of the world a little bit better, which is what you're supposed to do as a person. Um, Nick. Nick says, hold on, let me highlight this really quick. Nick says, we were laughing about how it sounded like Owens was about to start singing All Star by Smash Mouth when he started off with Some after Sarah's diatribe. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Oh, Boone, 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 Boone. So yeah, I mean, I just think that I think him not saying anything said everything, and I I am going to be as much as I can in the next few days. I should be all settled and everything by Monday. Because I do want us to I want to stream Chloe Driver's sentencing, and that's on the 12th. That's 8 days from today. So I want to be here for that. I want to be live with you guys for that because but yeah, I'm actually glad that she didn't take the plea deal. We didn't listen to closing statements, but Mr. Cacciatore, what he said really resonated with me. Part of the plea deal, and when you take a plea deal, and for Sarah, I think what they were going to have her do is, and this happens sometimes, where the defendant is required to say what they did. It is testimony. And I think that's why she wouldn't do it. I think that because Sarah is unable, unwilling, whatever the deal is, can't, won't, both, accept the truth of the situation, the truth of what really happened, she will never move on. She will never be free of this. Her life will never improve. She will be stuck on February 23rd, 2020 for the rest of her life. And I'm sure, that is a small thing because George Torres's family is going to be stuck on that day too. And it's sad because, when I lost my mom, and I didn't lose my mom to a tragedy, it was unexpected. I had just had her at she had just been up visiting me for a week. And I took her home on a Sunday and she died on Tuesday. It's weird, the things that you miss. People think that you, and I did too until I experienced it, that people think that you miss them around the time, the day that they died and their birthday and Christmas and, holidays, stuff like that. But actually, the times that I miss my mom, of course, my mom loved Christmas. And so I do, I think of her when I put my tree up and stuff. But the times that I miss her are like when my grandchildren were born, being able to share that with her. I miss that. That's when I think of my mom. Those are the times that I miss. Or, when I'm in need of advice and I need an adultier adult than myself, I miss her. Those are the times that I miss my mom the most. I miss the fact that she didn't get to see her grandkids become adults, and now 2 of them are parents. it's the small times, the thing, it's not yes, of course you miss them during Christmas. Of course, you do. But it's those times, those little moments in life that add up, that make your life. Do you know what I mean? Those are the times. That's when I miss my mom. That's when I miss her. I miss my mom. But I think I've been on here since I've been on here almost 2 hours, and I have to get up early in the morning because I have to pack and get ready to go. So y'all, let me just tell you before I let you go for the night. First of all, to everybody who helped, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the help. Thank you also for the sweet words, the kind thoughts, and the prayers and the well wishes. I can't tell you how much that means to me. The fact that you guys are so supportive of me, just every day. You show up, you thumbs up the stream, you are super cool in the chat, especially when you guys are especially welcoming to when new people come. And I have the best chat. I don't care what anybody says. This community is the actual best. Sunday, yeah, not really a trip. I got to get to Texas. Some stuff has come up. So, I had put a post out, and the community has really rallied around me and helped me get there. And I really appreciate that. And, I can't thank you guys enough. I really can't. I just appreciate it tremendously. Oh no, Sunday, don't be sorry. Here's okay. You have to be careful on social media with what you share. Just because, I mean, these streets are wild, y'all. And so it's nobody's passed away or anything. Everybody is safe. I just need to move. So it's okay. Don't anybody freak out. I just didn't want to give a whole lot of I don't want to give a whole lot of details because you know how that can be. Okay. So that being said, thank you guys all so much. And also, can you guys also pray for me, because the trip from Florida to Texas is 20 hours. Okay. It is going to be 20 hours with Mac and Alice. Okay. Alice will be fine because she will be with me. She'll be like, whatever, I don't really like cars, but it's fine. Mac will be disgruntled from the moment he gets into that vehicle until the moment he gets out of that vehicle. And he's also a talker. So it's like Alice will just side-eye you and give you dirty looks the whole way. Mac will express his level of disgruntledness the whole way. He does not like car rides. And he also is not a big fan of change at all. So, yeah. Oh yes, we're gonna, yes. When I get to Texas and everything, I will, I'll do a live, I'll do a members only live, and I will, I'll talk to you guys and tell you everything that's going on, that happened. I just, yeah, I'm going to go back to Texas. I'm moving back to Texas, and it needed to happen pretty quickly. So everybody rallied for me. I got a tremendous amount of support from you guys, and really from the bottom of my heart, I really cannot thank you guys enough. I really can't. I will absolutely check in with you guys. I'm just telling you right now, I remember making the move from the old house to this house. Okay, I literally moved less than a mile. Okay, it was a 7-minute, maybe 8, because we might have got stuck at a light, car ride. And Mac was so mad. But yeah, I would never, ever not take my little babies. So on the bright side, though, on the plus side of the good thing about moving and moving back to Texas is I will get to be with Olivia, Chicky Nuggy, Pot Pie, my little granddaughter, and I get to meet Paisley, my other granddaughter, my son's daughter, and I'm super excited. And my bonus grandson, Dawson, I'm very excited to meet all of them and spend Christmas with them and stuff. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And with that, I'm going to North Texas, Michelle. With that, I am going to almost the Panhandle, but not quite. I'm going to send you guys out of here with all of the love in my heart and all of my gratitude. Thank you so much. And Nay is telling me it's time. Nay is always good about clocking my Miss America bye-bye speeches by saying, "Hey, lady, lay you bye." Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it tremendously. And I will talk to you guys in a few days when I get all settled, okay? Thank you. Have a great rest of your night. I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do. Well, fuck you.
No malicious content or effort was towards it.
No malicious. Finish her.
Minutes later.
We all do a little mad sometimes. Oh.